Hallie's known as the lighthouse of the community. When people are down on their luck, when kids don't feel safe, when our elders don't feel seen, this is the place where they're safe. This is the place where they're seen. This is the place that remembers them.
Hi, I'm Chris Garner of the St. Paul and Minnesota Foundation, here with another episode of Corner Conversations. On this episode, we're at the historic Hallie Q Center, a place that has been a lighthouse in the Rondo community for nearly 100 years.
Hallie Q is important because it's one of those organizations and institutions that was built by the community and because the community was being denied services elsewhere. It is a byproduct of what happens when community comes together to make sure they can answer their own needs. The center was named after Hallie Q Brown. She was a writer, elocutionist, woman suffrage leader, author, and gatherer who would really fight for social change. We are here in the second location of Hallie Q Brown. Hallie originally was on Aurora on the other side of what is now the highway. And this picture right here is Myrtle Carden. Myrtle was actually the first executive director for Hallie Q Brown. She was appointed April 1st, 1929, which is in 2025 gonna be Hallie Q Brown Day. This is my mom. That's kind of the beauty of what we see here in the hallway. I want people to come here and feel like they're at home, like they're in a living room. This is the Honorable Dorothea Burns and Mildred Brunson. Anybody living that's gone through Hallie, if you ask them 2 names, 3 names, who impacted you the most at Hallie, every time you're gonna hear Dorothea Burns' name, you're gonna hear Janet Bell Taylor. For folks my generation, a little bit older, you're gonna hear Mildred Brunson as well. Penumbra plays and shows are played here. That originally was the Hallie Q Brown Theatre that the Penumbra program ran out of. The NAACP does their community gatherings here. This is the crown jewel of locations in the community that people like to use, and so we're able to leverage our space to help gather. The other part of what we do is we are the administrator of the Martin Luther King Service Center and Parks and Rec's Department of St. Paul. I grew up as an athlete in St. Paul. My family grew up playing for Hallie and things of that nature. And I see people on here and I'm like, I may not have knew them, but it's their parents. Like, this is Frank White's dad who played in here. And ironically, Frank White is on this picture. This is 30 years later. And then this is 40 years later, you see Frank's daughter. So yeah, just looking across these 3 pictures, it's 3 generations. It's really special, and partnering with Parks and Recs is really critical for us because the bread and butter of Hallie's program was being able to offer resources of sports for kids, movement and wellness, give them something that's a positive experience. And then also Rondo Days. And so that's a 40-year celebration that talks about our history. It's actually foundational to me being here in my role, going to those events, the parades, the drill team competition, things of that nature. And you know, on the commemorative wall we have in the hallway, you'll see Floyd Smaller and you'll see Marvin Anderson, the creators of Rondo Days. Even though the highway drove people out, people still come back here. I think that's what's kept us. It's also what sustained us. And for our generation, I'd say the grandchildren of Rondo, like, it's a North Star for us to know, like, I gotta be connected to that because this is way bigger than me. I wanna transform life and quality of life, longevity of life. I see us being a full-service resource hub for our community. We have superseded all expectations. And if you study Blue Zones, you'll see the impact of longevity. And we have that without even having adequate resources. We have people coming here in their 70s, 80s, and 90s. We have children that are generations in this place, up to 4, 5, 6 generations. I see a Rondo museum. I see coffee shops, I see restaurants, I see a grocery store, I see community service hub and center. I see adequate space for youth to come to explore, to grow and learn, to plug into a community where they can learn to lead and be active participants and contributors to society. I see it all, us continuing that legacy and moving it forward for another 100 years plus.